So welcome to part 2. Now we're scheduled to be departing from here at 22:37 local, which is 22:05 local, which is 5 minutes past 1 in Zulu. So we've got the average just coming on. I'm going to make sure the aircraft is in turnaround state, which I know it isn't at the minute. And I'm going to request refueling, because what we're looking like on the fuel front, yeah, we need about 15 tons of fuel on board. We'll get handled by Air Canada, because we are Air Canada. Okay, load and fuel. As I said, we are in need of 17.41. Oops. Decimal, hello? Tons of fuel. Start loading! Because it is going to take some time to fuel us up. We are at stand, I think it's Alpha 2. Actually, it's the medium stand. Yeah, it's 2 at St John's Airport. I'm using I've forgotten the name of the scenery I'm using. I will include a link to the company, the developers, in the show notes below. Okay, actually, I really quite like this. I've turned all the other scenery except St John's off, just so it looks okay, and so that we don't have an OOM on the way over. Can I also start the APU up? Fueling, that's going to stay off because we're currently refueling. Emergency lights can go to armed. Dome light comes on just to give us a bit better light. So, inish. CYYT/EGLL LL. There we go, that's just going to stay on there. Please wait whilst it downloads the route. Okay, so our cruise flight level is going to be initial of flight level 350. Cost index is going to be 85. We are Air Canada 88. Flight plan, I'm just going to check that's loaded in. Yep, that's loaded in. We're not necessarily going to be using that runway. I'll just check where the winds are blowing from. Yeah, we're going to be using runway. I believe it's 06 here, isn't it? Runway. It's 16 is 100 degrees offset. 11. I think 11 is going to be the best bet for the departure. We aren't going to be using a SID today, but that's from the 11. Then we're going straight to TUDEP. Still a little bit of a crosswind, but it's not a particularly strong one. Okay, next we're going to go back to Perth. Next page. Inish. Next page. 17.4. The aircraft's now going to start doing its fuel calculations, and we can then go back to flight plan and see that we're going to be landing at 4 o'clock Zulu. It's actually an hour ahead of schedule because we're scheduled to be landing at 6:30 UK time. Actually, that's we pushed now, but we're going to be landing a little bit early because we're scheduled to land at 5:36 Zulu. However, we've still got at least 20 minutes before we start pushing out. Okay, so that's most of the FMC initialization complete. And we've still got 20 minutes till scheduled to push, so I can now request boarding. So in the real world, you would start boarding about now. We said it was 101 people, including the babbies. Start cargo and 5 tons of cargo. Start cargo loading. Boarding's been requested. Takeoff weight hasn't been initialized just yet because obviously we're still loading that in, still loading the fuel in, we're still loading all the peeps in. So whilst they load, so we've got the APU on now. We can get APU bleed on since passengers are coming on board. Start making the aircraft a bit more pleasant to be on board. So the condition currently 15 degrees in all cabins, which is on the cool side, but it's dealable in terms of the passengers. Yeah, I'm just in one of those. We need to do this, and this. Brakes are still a bit warm after the last landing. We can also just get QNH. Apparently QNH is 1013. Wow, the weather's degraded just slightly in terms of visibility. We can also have a quick sneak peek at the charts, which I'll just pull up and slice and splice the video here. Okay, so the charts. Runway 11 is the longest runway here. Now, it's actually the most appropriate as well, because the winds are kind of blowing from that direction. So on that runway it's a crosswind, on this runway it's a bit of a crosswind, but yeah. Taking off 11, then we're going to turn left after departure. Okay. We're currently on spot 2, so I just have to get the parking docking chart. That's not parking docking, is it? That's de-icing. Anyway, we are there, where the clicker is now. I'm not going out obviously to 11. So we'll taxi out down here, enter via Juliet onto 3416, then turn left, backtrack to the end, turn round and blast off. Sweet. Have a quick look at anything else worthy of notice. See, we aren't flying any SIDS today because of the nature of our departure, and ILS is just returns. Yeah, we've got no better parking docking than that one. Okay folks, we'll go back to the aircraft now. So GSX has just finished loading. What the truck? Okay, that air bridge just like disappearing. Right, we're just going to stay on this side, so the air bridge doesn't start having issues with us. Anyway, so we're pretty much ready for. We're fully boarded now, pretty much. Oh, we've got bleed air coming in from the air bridge. That's quite an interesting touch from the scenery developers there. Yeah, it's a bleed air source. Don't know where it's going into, but okay. We're not going to. Obviously, the passengers board onto these things much quicker in GSX than they do in the real world, because even here it thinks we've only just managed to board 70 passengers, and it's already been asking us to get ready. Well, go sooner than normal, which obviously we can't do. So we have, however, finished our loading, sorry, our fueling, so we can switch the seatbelt sign on. APU is now running, so we can switch external power off and get rid of that. We can also switch parking brake on. So we'll just quickly have a look at the air conditioning again. What's the cabin temperature like now? Yeah, it's a bit more. That's a bit more pleasant for the passengers. It's gone up quite significantly since we've landed. We can switch radios off. Sorry, radio pointers off, I should call them, because that's what they are. Initial altitude's going to be 10,000. We can do performance now, I suppose, as well. Perf. So we'll use flaps 1 and see what that comes up with. So that actually does. It's actually not bad. So we're going to derate to 45 degrees. We're pretty good in terms of the wind today. In the real A319 we have to put this in from a speed chart, which we'd have printed off, but we don't need to do that in the Aerosoft because it's good like that. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick cross-reference of our fuel as opposed to what our requirements are. Fuel on board, oh, it's still loading fuel, so I actually need to switch that off. And I'm just going to pull the chart, the fuel state. You know what I meant, the OFP. My English is... Okay, so fuel required on board for departures 17,302 kilograms. I'm taking a little bit more than that, just out of our choice. You can also switch fueling pumps on, or fuel pumps on, or fueling pumps on. Cross feed not required. Electrical hydraulic pump for yellow system not required. PTU not required. Fire test 1. Fire test APU. Didn't realise these actually worked, must have been the latest service pack. Yeah, you can't click them though, so you can't actually use them. They're all installed, working. GPWS, that's all on and off as required. Just checking that. We can extend the landing lights so that when the first officer goes out to do his walk around, he can check them for damage. A bit easier. Beacon, that stays off. Wing lights can go on as well because the first officer is going to be going out in the next couple of seconds. So, yep. We've now got about 10 minutes till scheduled to depart. What are we doing like in terms of the fuel? Fuel, 9 tons. Yeah, we'll be done in time. what we could actually do is I'm just going to have a look and see what I've got mapped in terms of EasyDock, in terms of external views, and then we can do a quick walk around, because frankly I haven't done one in this aircraft. Yeah, I can do it. Let's go. Oh, hello. Oh my word. Standing by. Oh, hello. There we go. Again, the average has disappeared, just got to bear in mind with that. Okay, so, whoa, this is so floaty. Anyway, so front cargo bay. Just going to check that for any damage to the hinges. This is so sensitive. Wow. Moving around. No damage to the engine cowling. No damage to the fan blades. Ah, we're in the engine. No remnant fuel. We're going to work our way up the wing now. Nav lights functioning. Ailerons drooped. That's meant to be like that. Then again, just checking the tyres. No damage. No hydraulic leaks. Looking at the cargo doors again. You know, look at the cargo bay. This one's actually empty, which it shouldn't be. Piker. We changed aircraft. This one is still ETOPS certified, so it makes no difference. Again, just looking at all the static wicks aren't burnt out. Tail lights on. Nav light, logo light, works. No dinks in the side from the bus. Passenger escape doors closed. Same check. We'll not bother with the checks on the engine because I've showed you them. And we can also have a quick check on the nose wheel as well. So yeah, the nose wheel. Just move up to that and look down a bit. Nose wheel. We've got a little bit of extension here, which is sufficient. We've also got no leaks, no damage to the tyres, no flats, which is good. Okay, I'm now just going to teleport us back into the flight deck. There we go. So glare shield. Again, we've configured that. I'll just configure this for V2 plus 15, which is 156 knots. What are we doing like for fuel? Fuel's not fully fueled yet. Yeah, we're taking a lot of fuel on today. That's armed. We can arm the auto throttle now. 10,000 feet. That's in automatic climb mode. We can then just verify our compasses against the standby compass. Standby compass is indicating 235 degrees. Hang on. 225 degrees, correction. 225 across both sides. Mint. Looking up. Seatbelt signs can't go on yet. What we can do though is we can switch the dome light off to give us a bit more ambiance. Using EasyDock again. Flight instruments. So they're set and checked on my side. Again, bugs, climb and nav. Flight director is on, so that'll come on when we get airborne. ECAM controls. I quite like this. I quite like using EasyDock. We can just cycle through the views and just check everything is fully functioning. Okay, engine. Oil pressure, 0 on both sides. Temperature's good. Quantity also sufficient for the flight. Bleeds. Temperatures going through are also sufficient. Pressurization. Outlets are both closed. Safety's closed. Pack 2. That's but cabin pressure not moving. Cabin altitude is actually a bit lower than expected. That's in automatic mode. Electrical. Again, gens have got no load on them. APU generator's got a 45% load. Buses are all powered. No negative charge on the batteries. Hydraulics depressurized. That was expected. Fuel used to 0. Still waiting for about 5 tons to be pumped. APU's on. Bleeds on. Bleeds good. Loading's also still good. Conditions as coming. Air conditioning, I should say. So that again, that's clear. We've got nothing on here that we weren't expecting to have. Doors. Cabin doors are still open because we can technically be still taking late passengers. Cargo doors, we can close those in just a few seconds. Wheels, no closed, no low pressures, temperature's good. Flight controls, depressurized ambers, elacs are still in the green. Pitch trim, we can actually set that to 0.8. That will, it's moving. I'm surprised. And then that just clicks through it all. I can then hit recall, and then clear. And then that shows us all the status. that nothing's broken basically. Loading fuel. We're still loading fuel. We can close the passenger doors now. We'll close the back door just because it'll let the back of the cabin warm up a bit, and we can also close both cargo doors. We're going to be pushing about on time actually. I'm quite impressed that how I've managed to synchronise this in terms of time. Right, I've got 5 more tons of fuel to pump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video here, and then I'll edit myself back in shortly. That's something I can do to get rid of that. That's how I'm going to set the warning horn off in this thing. Also, actually before I do, I can do this. 2200. That's because we're uncontrolled IFR. We're not on VATSIM, so we're uncontrolled. TCAS, so ident not required. TCAS test, we can't do it at this stage. That stays off. Anyway, so now I am going to cut the video here, and we'll get back to you just as soon as we're ready to, well, as soon as we're refueled. We're just about fully fueled now. Just getting a little bit of the last remaining fuel on board. So I'm going to start my sliding table. We've received the final fuel sheet from the dispatcher. Whoa, what happened there? So we can start closing them doors and disconnecting the air bridge. So close one left, air bridge to disconnect, and request to prepare for push and departure. Now we said nose to the right, tail to the left. No, I don't want to start engines before push. I'm surprised there wasn't a better parking docking chart for here. Yeah, we're going to taxi off down Golf, then Juliet, and then entering from there. So we've got the last 300 kilograms of fuel to pump now. We're not ready for pushback yet, so stand by. Okay. Got the last 100 kilos to pump now, and then we're going to get ready and roll. Gonna roll at 100. Right, so that's us fully loaded now, is it? Yeah. Load instant. There we go, we're loaded now. So I can confirm the air bridge has been released from the side of the aircraft. No, it hasn't. Control J. No, it's moving away. So the air bridge isn't actually fully parked yet, so we can't push, but we can switch the beacon light on. We can just wait for the air bridge to move a bit further back. St. John's Airport. Okay, that's far enough back for me. I'm not intending to wait here all night. Okay, folks, so this is going to be the end of part 2 right now, because we are starting to do our pushback. So we'll see you all in part 3. Bye bye.